Okay guys, it's me Kate again. So this video is my Booklist Queen's 2025 reading challenge TBR. TBR. So let's go. The first prompt is you meant to read to read last year. For that I'll be reading Amari and the Despicable Wonders, which was published in 2024, and you can read it then. And for that, this is third book in the Bureau of Supernatural Investigations series, in which are following Amari, whose brother is missing up until and one day while going through his stuff, she finds a briefcase which invites her to become part of the Bureau of Supernatural Investigation, and she decides to join to see if she can find out something that happened to her brother. Then we have Goodreads winner in 2024. For this, I'll be rereading House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, which is third book in the Crescent City series, in which are following Bryce, whose best friend was murdered 2 years ago, and now someone is recreating the murders that her friend was murdered in, and so the archangel of the city asks Bryce to assist in the investigation because she has personal connection to the original murders. Then we have Romantasy. For this, I'll be rereading House of Art and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, which is first book in Crescent City series. Then we have About Siblings. For this, I'll be rereading A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harrison, which is about three sisters, Betty, Charlie, and Fliss, whose family was cursed. So women in their family cannot leave the island they live on. But the middle sister, Betty, just wants to go to an adventure. So they decide to break the curse. Then we have book becoming a movie or TV show in 2025. I'm not familiar with the adaptation, so I didn't put anything for this. And we have a spy thriller. I don't usually read spy thrillers, but if I find one, I'll put it here. We have women's fiction. Also, I don't have one of those. Then we have a title starts with C and with letter C. For this, I'll be rereading Carry On by Rainbow Flower, in which we are following Simon, who is the chosen one, but he is not, and he's a wizard, but not a very good one. So he's like, why am I the chosen one? I'm literally the worst wizard in the generation. So we're following him, trying to be the chosen one. Then we have non-fiction about health. I don't usually like those, so I left this blank. Then we have Twist Ending. For this, I'll be rereading Darker by Flutter by John C.L. 10. In this book, we are following the Reaper named Nakai, the girl with powers, Rui, and Yeran, whose whole family has powers, but he does not. And everything starts when Rui was saved by the group of Reapers 18 years ago, and one of them was Nakai, and now their paths are coming together again. Then we have published in 2015. Now this book wasn't published in 2015 by my edition bots. And for this, I'll be rereading Alice's Adventures in the Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. I believe that people are familiar with those stories. Then we have fiction and non-fiction with the same author. I don't have either. Then we have mythology retelling. For this, I'll be rereading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, which is a retelling of Hades and the Hades and Persephone, and this is the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, in which are following uh, what's her Feyre, who after accidentally killing a Fey wolf gets taken by his boss to his court to be in a captivity. Then we have You Own But Haven't Read. For this, I'll be listening to the audiobook or Bloodstones. I don't remember the author of this, but I do have the audiobook, and I know what it's about because I heard about it on YouTube, and I'm not sure what is it about. And then we have set in the Middle East. For this, I'll be rereading Spice Road by Maya Ibrahim. In this one, we're following a girl whose brother is missing, and she decides to find him, and stuff goes from there. And we have a sequel. For this, I'll be rereading Blood Marked by Tracy Dion. In this one, we are following in this series, we're following Brie, whose mom dies, and then she goes to this college program for her high school students, where she witnesses a magical attack, and stuff goes from there. Then we have a debut author. I don't really pay attention to the debut authors, so I'll try and fit one in. Then we have a heartwarming story. For this, I'll be rereading About Taipei by Abigail Hangwen. And in this one, we're following Gary Wong, who wants to become a dancer, but her parents want her to become a doctor, so they send her to this summer educational program in Taiwan, which ends up being a summer-long party. Then we have a book that took a while to read. For this, I'll be rereading Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, in which are following Selena Sardotin, who was the best assassin on the continent, but prior to the events of the book, she was captured and taken to work as a slave in a salt mines, and stuff goes from there. And then she's working there up until the captain of the King's Guard comes and takes her to the Crown Prince, who offers her to become his champion in the fight to become King's assassin in exchange for her freedom. Then we have Class and recommended to you. For this, I'll be rereading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. My mom recommended me to read this a while ago. You have a villain as a protagonist. For this, I'll be rereading Dark Eyes by C.S. Packet, in which I'm following a villain who is working on the London Donks up until the day when he meets a group of people who are trying to prevent the Dark Lord from rising up again. Then you have set in a summer, so for this I'll be rereading 1,000 Nights by Ken Johnston, in which I'm following a girl who lives in a kingdom where King already had 300 wives, and all of them died. So she decides that she will take there's one condition to King to continue ruling and that is he has to the woman he can marry. He has to marry a wife from a place he hasn't previously in the kingdom, and our main character decides she will take that place for her village. You have 2024 bestseller. I'll need to find one. I currently don't have anything here. Then we have Queen cover. For this, I'll be rereading Soulbinder by Sebastian de Castell, which is fourth book in Spellsinger series, in which our following Killen, who is just about to take his magic trials, but his magic starts failing, so he decides to cheat. Then you have a bottom of your to-read list. I have to check if I have read or haven't read this book, but I think I haven't, so. I have author for Africa, I don't have one. I have That Makes You Cry. I said this numerous times, but I never cried in a book. About the book. Then I have About the Politician. We can have a Queenslayer by Sebastian de Castell, which is 5th book in the Spellsinger series. Then I have a popular book you never read. For this I'll be reading Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Portman. I only know that this is romance and nothing else. Then I have illustrated book. I have 2 editions of this book, one of them being an illustrated edition, but I'll be rereading the not illustrated one. That's Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, in which are following Fitz, who at the age of 6 is left by his maternal grandfather at the doorstep of the keep where his father, the crown prince, to raise him. But when his father hears that his bastard son is coming, he abdicates the throne and goes to live in the countryside, which leaves Fitz in this really weird situation, and he is mostly raised by the stable master Burek up until the age when his grandfather, the king, decides that he would actually make a great royal assassin because he's both royal, so he can go to royal events, but also a commoner, so not everybody will pay attention to him. Then I have an audiobook with multiple narrators. For this I'll be rereading The Fire Prophecy by Megan Linsky and Alicia Radis. In this book we're following Sophia, who finds out that she is actually part of this Native American tribe whose people can control the elements. Then we have Set in the Suburbs. I put placeholder in for this one because I'm not sure if this book actually is set in the suburbs, but if I find one that is, I'll put it here. Then we have the Dark Academia. For this I'll be rereading The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. In this we are following the magicians, 6 young magicians who are all of the best in what they can do, and now they're asked to become the part of the Alexandrian society, which is tasked with preserving the knowledge of the original ancient library in Alexandria, but only 5 of them can make it. Then we have intriguing cover. For this I'll be rereading The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and in this one we're following 2 magicians who are tasked with competing against each other, but they don't know who each other are or what they are competing for, so they are just trying to outdo each other. Then we have 5-star read. For this I'll be rereading Crownbreaker, which is last book in the Spellsinger series. And then we have About an Immigrant. For this I'll be rereading Hidden Gem by Lisa Casey, which are following Aki, who has powers to see the history of the person by touching something with theirs. And if I tell you about the immigrant angle, that would be spoiling one of the twists in the book. And we have a banned book. I put placeholder in here for this point because I have to check if this book is actually banned somewhere or not. But I think it is, so I put it, even though I might have not read it for this. Then we have set in 1960s. I have to find a book for this. Then we have with chapter titles. For this I'll be rereading The Rhythm of War, which is 4th book in the Stormlight Archive, in which are following the war between the Aleti and the Parshenda, which started when Parshenda killed the Aleti king, and stuff goes from there. Then we have dystopian fiction. For this I'll be rereading Legend by Maya Lu, in which we're following a girl whose father died and she is now tasked with spying this notorious criminal in her city. And we have author you love. For this, I'll be rereading A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, which is fourth book in A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And in this one, we're following Feyre's older sister Nesta, and have a multi-generational story. For this, I'll be rereading The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, which is first book in the Stormlight Archive. Then we have Animal in the title. For this, I'll be rereading The Serpent and Dove by Shelby McCorrin, which is a book about a witch and a witch hunter heading to marry each other. Then we have 2025 new release. For this, I'll be reading Onyx Storm, which is third book in a Fourth Wing series, in which I'm following Violet, who studied her entire life to become scribe, but when her father dies, her mother decides to send her to the Dragon Riding Academy, which might not be the best decision for Violet. Then we have Out of Your Comfort Zone. I'm not sure what I will have for this. I do have something for a moment, but it's not really out of my comfort zone. You have a thought-provoking historical fiction, also not something I'm not sure what I'll be reading for this. I put one book just to have something. Then we have a book everyone is talking about. For this, I'll use a book that everybody was talking about in 2023, and that's Wonder Window by Rachel Gilling, in which we're following a world where people get sick, and by getting sick, they either die or get this or get specific power. And our main character was sick, got over it, and doesn't have power. So the thing she does have is a monster in her head. Then we have a romance book. For this, I'll be rereading Witch Blood by Lisa Casey, which is first book in Kitsune Chronicles, in which we're following Sebastian, who is a kitsune, which is Japanese nine-tailed fox beard with elemental magic, and he's been around ever since something happened to him a year ago, up until now when he bumps into an alpha werewolf named Liam, who actually saved him a year ago. Then we have a best-selling memoir. I don't really like memoirs, so I don't know what I'll be reading for this. Then we have YA fiction. I have multiple choices for this, so I'll see throughout the year what I'll put for this. And we have reread the favorite. For this, I'll be rereading Named Paulina Pup by Sanya Pollack, in which we're following Paulina Pup, who tells us about her life story in a diary format. So this is it for this video. If you liked, please like, share and subscribe. Down below my social media, my email and some other stuff, and I'll see you next one.